everyone, today we are taking a look at Source of Mutation, and this is in normal mode. It's a guild dungeon and we are looking at this from a tank point of view. It might be somewhat helpful for DPS and healers, but I think that we're going to have to probably make a separate video for you guys for this because it's really just the tank mechs. Now first off, tanks, we actually did a different Discord channel just for us, because there's a lot of communication that needs to happen between tanks, and we'll show you that in a minute. But also just a basic thing, first you're going to switch off at 8 stacks for this raid, and that is not a hard set thing. You don't want to really go over 8 stacks, but sometimes you'll switch sooner, so we can go ahead and go through that. Okay, for tanks, the most important part of this raid is this purple bar down here. If the purple bar gets down to 0, you will wipe the raid because it will kill the tree that is in the center of the room. If the counter gets up to 100%, the tree will bloom and spread its seeds, which you only want to happen at 60 and 20%. So tanks, our job is to keep this counter as close to 50% as we can. We want it centered for most of the raid. We do this by moving inside the green circle to lower the bar so that it goes down, and moving outside to raise the bar. Now this is controlled somewhat by stacks, so the person with the most stacks might want to be outside the circle, while the two with the lower stacks might want to be inside to kind of balance out that bar. So we'll go ahead and go through that as we look at the fight. The first thing to happen is at 95% we want to be inside the circle to avoid getting killed by the noise pollution. This is a casting bar right under the boss's name, as well as a quick yellow message across the top of the screen. So here you can see the casting bar. Once that happens, he does some little attack, and then you can start moving out of the circle if you need to. Now here we're trying to raise the bar in the center to 50%. So we're going to stand inside of the circle to help get that bar closer to 50%. And we will move outside as well to kind of balance it. We don't want it to go too fast, but we do want it to get close to 50% to kind of level out. So there might be some tanks outside and one inside. Here we have 3 tanks tanking this raid, so that it kind of balances the bar and moves slowly. You can see now it's about 50%. And we're going to have some tanks. Now I'm outside the circle, and then we'll move inside. So it's really important for tanks to communicate whether they need to move in or out of the circle for these phases. At 80% of the boss's health, the boss will stop attacking, and you'll see you don't do any damage. There's this section where there's these puddles around the outside. You can kind of see them in the back there. They're either purple or green. At 80%, the DPS will take care of these puddles because there's not too many. But here in the center of the screen, you can see there's kind of like a greenish buff. That means that I'd have to stand on the green puddles to pop them. I can't do the purple ones. Also in the center of the screen is this bluish buff with a counter on it. When the timer gets to 0, you can pop the next puddle. So you can't pop another puddle or get rid of another purple or green puddle when you have that special timer on it. You'll have to wait until the next, so it's about 7 seconds between being able to clear the next puddle, and you have to make it all the way around the room. So at 80%, it's not too bad, but later on, when it is 40%, it's a little bit more challenging to remove all those puddles and make sure you don't get that timer. After each one of the little mechanics sections, you have the noise pollution again. So just watch for that timer at the top right under the boss's name, and go ahead and make sure you're inside the circle when that happens. Okay, since this is from a tank's point of view, we are, remember, looking at that purple bar and also the boss's health. Now, if you remember at the beginning, I said that when the purple bar gets to 100%, it drops seeds. Now, it's important that at 60% for the boss's health, that it's going to do a cataclysm. And you have to make sure that that bar is at 100% when it reaches 60% health. So right now we are all standing outside that green circle so that the bar gets to 100% at the same time the boss's health gets to 60%. This will spawn an ad in the center that the DPS has to kill quickly. Now you can see these green text out there. Each of the DPS is kind of standing around in a circle, and that green text is dropping seeds. Each of those seeds will go to 3 more players. They'll spread. And we actually want everyone to have a seed at this point. So you can see that somebody comes to the tanks, and we're also spreading it around the circle so that everybody has a seed. When that attack bar under the boss's name got to 0, he did a large attack, and anybody without a seed on them will immediately die. So here we were lucky. We were able to get the seeds to everyone, and everyone survived. But if anybody doesn't have a seed on them at that point, you need to have that they will die. So it's really important to spread the seeds. Now, and you will only get the seeds when the bar is 100%, so it has to be at the same time. Now here we're all in the center. For the tanks after that attack, because there are people that are kind of in and out, we have to make sure that we want to control that timer bar really quickly. So after that attack, we actually switched off at 4 stacks so that everybody had stacks to bring the timer down faster. So the more people with stacks, the faster it adjusts that timer. So again, we switched off at 4 at that case because we wanted to make sure we were controlling the timer really well, because DPS are running in and out. So now we're back at the next phase, and this one is at 40%. It's the remove pollutants phase, where you have 4 people on each puddle, and you need to check the buffs in the center of your screen. Above, I wanted to show that I have a purple buff, and I am clearing a purple puddle here. Now we went to the last ones because we're tanks. Your raid leader might assign you to a different one, but we went to the last section, and we were just waiting here for the other puddles to be cleared. So here you can see there was none, so that just popped that one in the background. Now we get this blue buff in the center again. We're waiting for the timer to go down, and they're going to clear the green one next to us. And then we get this couple seconds, 7-second buff again. And then as soon as that clears, we move back into this green one that we're at. Now we did it all before the countdown under the boss's name, that little buff under his boss's name. So we didn't lose anyone for that attack that he does. Again, after these, the purple bar seems to jump, so tanks inside and switch off stacks quicker. And also was just that noise pollution attack, so make sure you're all inside the circle for that. So next, we're just going to kind of move in and out to maintain the current health of the current health of the tree, that purple bar, around 50%. And we keep that until 20% when we need it to go back up to 100% again. So again, we might keep it a little higher because we want to make sure that we can get up to 100% when the boss's health gets down to 20%. And we're all out now because we want it to go up quickly. And so it matches the 20%. This causes the tree to release its seeds, which you can see being spread in the background a little bit, as well as that mob that appears at the same time. So the DPS will be killing that mob while they are spreading the seeds around, and they will bring the seeds over to the tanks that are all kind of clustered together. And because there's 3 of us, when they bring the seed over here, it'll spread to up to 3 players. So all 3 of us will get the seed again. So here again, if you don't get all of the players, you will have them die when he does his attack right here. So we need to make sure that everybody gets that seed. Afterwards, everybody back inside the circle for tanks. And that's because he just did the noise pollution again. After each of those phases, he does noise pollution where we all need to be inside. Now the health of the tree bar is pretty low because he respawns after that. So we do have the tanks moving out right away afterwards to try to get it closer to 50%, but people do end up outside. So you want to kind of make sure you balance that so it doesn't go too high. And again, now we just kind of move in and out to maintain that 50% of the bar while the DPS finishes off the boss, because that is the end of the fight. So hopefully you found this helpful and it helped you understand what the tanks should be doing. Also a little bit of what the DPS does, though there's a lot more mechanics for the DPS and healers. And I will try to get to a video on that soon because I know I do have a video of it. Because the tanks are in a separate raid channel, I don't know everything that they do yet. But I'll review that and get that up to you guys soon. You're watching VGO40 and this is VGO Girl, and thank you for watching.